Is Junto Nakatani legit? He knocked out Alexandro Santiago this weekend in Japan and claimed his third belt in a third different weight class. Junto Nakatani is a dog. He flatlined Maloney. He flatlines everybody he fights. This dude, he fights at 118. This is him coming up from 104? He's calling up to 118, and he's still knocking people out. This guy has bricks in his hands, laced with C4, and he is must-watch boxing. I'm a huge Junto Nakatani fan, if you can't tell. Japanese boxing is kind of having its moment right now. We'll be talking about Takuma Inoue later. You've got Naoya Inoue, obviously, who's the brother of Takuma. And then you got Junto Nakatani. There's a whole bunch of Japanese fighters, Japanese boxers out there, and they're really good. There's something in the food down there in Japan because they are putting out some really good boxers. And you need to pay attention because these guys are coming. So, if you missed it, Junto Nakatani knocked out Santiago in round 6 after just utilizing his length the entire fight and finally deciding to turn it up, put it on. He's made his reads, and wow, was he fantastic. So we're looking at a southpaw versus orthodox matchup where I believe Nakatani was a southpaw and Santiago, no, I think. Anyway, one of them southpaw and orthodox. So there's this open matchup, and there's an outside foot advantage, and all night Nakatani is going to get the outside foot advantage. I loved it. Every second of it, I was like, let's go. Let's go. I love it. So he's utilized it. So one thing you'll notice, like, Santiago's supposed to be the bigger fighter. He knocked out Nonito Donaire, or not knocked out, I'm sorry. He beat Nonito Donaire via decision. He's a bigger guy, right? Junto Nakatani looked huge against Santiago. He was long, and the announcer said he looked like a praying mantis, kind of with his guard up like he did. And I was like, that is the perfect image, because that is exactly what Junto Nakatani looks like. So he's out there, he's laying out his jab, he's coming over the top, and he's starting to look for these uppercuts and such. And it was really, really encouraging early on to see that he's not going out there and just brawling like a lot of people seem to think these boxers do. So to make his reads, what Nakatani does, he just kind of flicks a jab out there. You see a lot of that with like Muhammad Ali, where he just kind of flicks a jab out, kind of, oh, look, I'm touching you. He's kind of building their expectations to be touched. And then he'll unleash this combo like 1, 2, just real quick. So he's changing the cadence, he's changing the velocity, he's changing the speed, he's changing a lot, and he's changing the combination that he throws as well. He's showing out there that he's not just a one-dimensional fighter with all of this just power. He has really good footwork too, so he's long and lanky, so when he steps around, it is dramatic, as in like you have to react, and it takes a lot more to react if you're a shorter leg width, I guess. I don't know. But what he'll do is he'll step around, he'll step to the outside foot, and he's just getting loose. So like in the beginning, Junto Nakatani is like, he's kind of reserved, 1-2, coming around the side, just kind of feeling out Alejandro Santiago. And you see him like change gears in his head to where he's more loose on his foot. And he's 1-2, he's opening up more combinations. And you're like, oh no, he's starting to feel himself. And like there's one point where like Alexandro Santiago caught him with something, and he goes back to his corner and he's smiling about it. He's like, hey, he got me. Like he did not feel in danger at one point in this fight. And that should be absolutely terrifying, because if Junto Nakatani is laughing at you, 1-2, landing these punches and stuff, you might be in trouble. As a matter of fact, if you're a fighter at an above weight class and there's like, hey, come to Japan, defend your title against one of our fighters, do not go. Do not go, because they're trying to con you like Naoya Inoue did to Stephen Fulton. Hey, come on over to Japan, come fight. Obviously these guys are the A side, but like, man, that should be an automatic danger in your head, because, yeah. So you see as the fight goes on, and we're getting to round 5, where like Junto Nakatani is throwing like a 5-punch combination. You're like, whoa, what's going on? What is this dude doing? And he's just scary. He's so scary, and I love it. It's so much fun to watch him fight. Round 6, he overshoots on a left and then a cross hook, and Alexandro Santiago dips, stays in the pocket, and then a 1-2. So, like, he made this mistake, and he recovered and got to his footwork quickly. He put his feet back in place quickly, and he was ready to exchange again because he knew Alexandro Santiago was getting desperate at this point, and he was trying to stay in the pocket and get in. He knew he wasn't going to go anywhere after he overcommitted on this punch. He got his feet set, and then boom, boom, 1-2. Put him down. Oh, my gosh. Put him down. He was like, whoa, what just hit me? Santiago gets up. He beats the count. And then Junto Nakatani just pounces. He's just throwing hooks and stuff over the top and manages to knock down Alexandro Santiago again. So is Santiago, is he washed? I don't think so. I don't think Santiago's actually a washed fighter. I think he beat an older Nonito Donaire and was given a lot more credit than he should have against Nonito Donaire. But when you go out there and you beat a champion, I think that was for the vacant title, actually. But when you win a belt, there's going to be a title on your back. And these sharks in this water, the Takuma Inoue and Junto Nakatani, or like Jesse Rodriguez, which is a fight I need to see in the future. These guys are going to go out there and really put on the best they can to go get this fight. Because it's a winnable fight for them. And if they get a belt, that's more prestige on their part. And we see this with like Devin Haney doing this to Ryan Garcia, who has just the clout. And that's more of a clout thing than a belt. But be aware that these guys are great. Junto Nakatani, he's not like perfectly polished, but he knows what he's good at. He knows his length, and he knows his power, and he knows his footwork. And he keeps getting better. From the last fight, I saw him with Maloney where he flatlined him with uppercuts. He didn't just rely on that this fight. He didn't go out there and be like, okay, I know how to knock people out with uppercuts, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm the uppercut guy now. No, he's going out there, he's getting better, he wants to be a better fighter, and that should terrify the rest of the 118-pound division, and maybe even Bam Rodriguez down the future, because that's a banger of a fight. Main event, which I didn't even know was the main event, was Takuma Inoue and Jerwin and Cajas. WBA World Bantamweight title was on the line. Inoue came in this 18-1, and Cajas was 34-3-2. So Inoue, Takuma Inoue is the younger, or he's the brother. I don't remember if he's younger or older, but he's the brother of Naoya Inoue, who's undisputed in 2 different weight classes. A lot was made of that, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's the younger brother that did knock people out." It's because Naoya Inoue is a generational talent. So Takuma has Naoya Inoue's old belt. This is 118. Inoue's done moved up. Now he's at Super Bantam, I believe. But anyways, he's got the belt, and he's fighting Jerwin Cajas, just defending his title. He's defended, I think they said, a few times, too. He's had this belt for a while. The first thing I noticed from Takuma Inoue is he's got good hands. And good hands must be genetic because they are just like Naoya Inoue's. He's quick on the counter, 1-2, he's fast, and his footwork's very, very fast. And that's something I really liked I saw from Takuma Inoue, and I was like, wow, he's a fun fighter. He has a lot of really good straight punching. He's hooks over the top. And Jerwin Cajas came into this fight and was not scared to throw. He wasn't scared to go out there and bang with this guy, and he tried to. Midway through the fight, I think, what was it, round... I'm trying to see on my notes here. Weave, a lot of head movement from Inoue. Midway through the fight, round like 4 or 5 or something, Takuma Inoue decides, I'm going to fight do a bunch of infighting. And him and Cajas really just kind of started banging it out in the middle of the ring. I was like, this is pretty cool. They're shoulder to shoulder, throwing uppercuts and coming over the top. And it was like, wow, you don't see this much in boxing. Neither of the guys are clinching up trying to avoid a fight. And Takuma Inoue got in trouble with his corner for that. Anyways, he continues to work on the outside. But then round 7, he gets in the pocket again and more infighting. And it looked like Takuma Inoue was going to fade a little bit. And Jerwin Cajas was like walking him down. And Inoue lands a 1-2 shots as he's coming forward. It wasn't like big. It was big punches, but it wasn't a lot. So eventually, Takuma Inoue, he's fighting again in the pocket. Rear uppercut to the body. in that thing exactly where his coaches told him not to go to. Uppercut to the body, and down goes Jerwin and Kajas. Corner wasn't happy that he, fighting in the pocket earlier, but it ended up getting him the win. So Takuma Inoue is his own fighter, and he's a fun fighter at that. But to say he's Naoya Inoue's brother, we can't say that. He's Takuma Inoue. He's his own fighter. He's really good, and he showed just how good he was on Saturday in Japan. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it. Sorry, cutting it short today. Lots to do, but hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the fights. Substack, if you want to drop a $5 every month just to say, hey, I love you. You're great podcast. You can do that, or just sub to YouTube and watch my videos every week that I talk about the latest in boxing and MMA. If you want to reach out to me, X is the best way to do that. Just tweet me, say, hey, saw you on YouTube, and I'll comment back, obviously. So, yeah, I'm out, guys. Later.